This is a bibliography of Rosa Parks. She was married to a barber from Montgomery at her mother's house. After her marriage, she took on numerous jobs ranging from a domestic worker to a hospital aide. After the death of her husband in 1977, she founded the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development. She was small for a child and suffered poor health conditions. When her parents separated, she moved with her mother to Pine Level, just outside of Montgomery, Alabama. There she grew up at a farm and began her lifelong membership in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. Rosa Parks was born as Rosa Louise McCauley in Tuskegee, Alabama on February 4, 1913, to James McCauley and Leona Edwards as a carpenter and a teacher. Her family consisted of maternal grandparents, mother and brother. She and her husband had no children to her death. She attended rural schools until the age of 11. She then enrolled at the Industrial School for Girls in Montgomery, where she took academic and vocational courses. She went on to a laboratory school set up by the Alabama State Teachers College for Negroes for secondary education, but was forced to drop out to care for her mother and grandmother after they became ill. She became active in the civil rights movement and joined the Montgomery chapter of the NAACP. She was elected volunteer secretary to its president, Edgar Nixon. In the 1940s, she and her husband were members of the Voters League. There were plans for the Montgomery bus boycott on December 4, 1955, which was announced at black churches and in front of page of the Montgomery Advisor. Those that were attending the boycott agreed unanimously to continue until they were treated with the level of courtesy they expected until black drivers were hired. Parks had her first run-in on the public bus on a rainy day in 1943 when a bus driver demanded that she get off the bus and re-enter through the back door. She paid her fare and sat in an empty seat in the first row of black seats reserved for blacks, and back seat reserved for blacks. 9 months before Parks refused to move from her seat on the bus, a similar activity happened with a 15-year-old who refused to move from her seat in the same bus system in New York, which leads to the desegregation of the horse cars and horse-drawn omnibus of that city. Unlike these acts of disobedience, Parks' actions sparked the Montgomery bus boycott. She was charged for disorderly conduct and violating a local ordinance. The trial lasted for 30 minutes. Parks was found guilty with a $10 fine plus $4 in court costs. She appealed her conviction and formally challenged the legality of racial segregation. As a result of Rosa Parks' life, she was committed to the civil rights movement until her death. She died at her Detroit home of natural causes at the age of 92. She was an African American civil rights activist whom the U.S. Congress called the First Lady of Civil Rights and the mother of the freedom movement. Thank you.